Welcome back for another reading from the Science of Mind magazine, The Daily Guides. Today's reading is called Love Your Thinking. And without further ado, here we go. The first quote is from Paul, first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 13. But the greatest of these is love. And there Paul was talking about the things that will survive. He said faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love. And Ernest Holmes said, love is the greatest of all healing agencies. Love is the greatest of all healing agencies. And that was from Ideas for a Living on page 42. And this is Rev David Alexender, who says, a teacher once shared something so radical with me that it first felt heretical. Try to fix, change, or manage a thought is in fact giving it reality. If a thought is truly illusion, an echo of conditioning, memory, or inherited patterns, then my frantic attempts to battle it, overwrite it, or claim it as my own only deepen its seeming hold on me. Science of Mind teaches that thought is creative, shaping experience through the law of mind. This understanding helps countless people affirm new patterns and to shift their lives toward greater good. And now this new instruction invited me to look even further, opening a new dimension of awareness. His invitation was simple yet revolutionary. Love the thought. Love every thought, not as truth, but as a temporary, orphan child of the mind, deserving compassion, not judgment. Rather than trying to affirm over fear, suppress doubt, or wrestle with mental noise, he suggested sitting in pure presence, allowing the thought to soften, feel safe, and ultimately dissolve. Science of Mind points us toward the one mind, is capitalized, the infinite presence, capitalized, which is beyond all thought. This reframe reminded me that essence precedes thinking. Thoughts arise mechanically, often inherited, random, or dualistic, but the self that observes them is free, whole, and unbounded. Loving the thought is not indulgence. It is a greater surrender of resistance, a reminder that freedom comes not from control, but from resisting as the awareness prior to all mental chatter. From there, true inspiration, not mental compulsion, can flow. And I remember when I actually learned for the first time a new technique to help me when I was meditating, and that was to be the observer, to kind of step, when you close your eyes and you start meditating, thoughts start coming in. And lots of people have devised lots and lots and lots of ways of dealing with that. And one way I learned was actually to step back and observe. So if you step back and observe your thoughts mentally, if you step back in your mind and mentally observe the thoughts and not be part of them, then it's amazing how they just eventually stop coming in. So as the thought's coming in, you observe it. You don't judge it, you just observe it. You don't join with it, you just observe it. And it's really amazing how this technique works. It really does work. It kind of frees you from the thoughts. So that's one technique I learned. And sometimes we really do get bound up in our thoughts. And everybody, when they meditate, believe me, everybody gets thoughts intruding because it's just who we are as human beings. So next time you're meditating and thoughts start coming in, then one technique you might try is this, to just be the observer of your thoughts, not attached to them, just observing them and just allowing them to be and to go. And as he says, don't hate them, just love them, just accept them as being where they are. Those are my observations on today's reading. Love your thinking, expand your awareness is the affirmation. Love your thinking, expand your awareness. And the other thing I learned is this: not to get discouraged. That one time I would think, oh my God, that was a terrible meditation. You know, I just kept getting wrapped up in my thoughts. But eventually I learned to just say, okay, it happened. I accept it. And now I try and observe it, which is the technique that works for me. Reverend Jesse, my leader at Creative Eye Spiritual Center, he's got a different technique. He says if you think about so many things at once, your brain will kind of just explode and you'll end up in that quietness, which is what you're seeking. Works for him, doesn't work for me, but the observer technique works for me. So maybe I'll give you 2 or 3 more tips on meditation in the coming days. So I have to wander off now because my wife and I are going to a business meeting, which starts at 5, and we have to drive there. I know for each and every person here, the highest and best, that love, which is the highest form of all, is flowing through each and every person who watches this, who listens to this. And I claim that this is truth, and I release this word into that divine law that always says yes, and for which I'm so grateful. And I let it go and say, and so it is.